Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first edition of the January Jumpstart live webinar series. Today, we are talking all about planning your project. This is the first part of the three parts that we're going to be taking you through right the way through the month of January, hopefully turning you guys into crowdfunding pros who go on to launch and fund your own project. So let's get things started. First of all, what I'm going to do is kind of flip between talking to you guys here on the camera and also sharing with you a little bit of a presentation. So we're going to kind of flip between those two things now. And first of all, we're going to get going here. So hopefully everyone can see that now. So just a bit of an introduction as to us here at Crowdfunder. So we're crowdfunder.co.uk. We are the UK's largest rewards-based crowdfunding platform. I'm here at our HQ down in Newquay in Cornwall, where it's a little bit of a grey overcast day, but I can see some tiny waves on the horizon out there out the window. So we have around about 100 projects coming into us every single day looking to make an idea happen. And we are going to talk through right now on how we're going to take you from being one of those projects that come into one of the ones that ends up with a successful crowdfunding project in the bag. So hopefully by now, many of you will have read through the pack that came out with the January Jumpstart email you all should have received, and that's called Planning Your Project. That's part 1. So I'm hoping that most of you will be pretty familiar with how rewards crowdfunding works now. But just in case, I'm going to run through an example, which is one of my favorites, which makes it really, really easy to understand how rewards crowdfunding works. So here on the left, we have Phil from Leeds Bread Co-op. So he was looking to raise around about £8,000 in order to buy some ovens that he needed to open his bakery up in Leeds. He came to Crowdfunder, set up a project, put it live, and over the course of 49 days, 144 people from his local community came onto his crowdfunding page and they pledged money to make that idea happen. So it's really easy. He wasn't giving away any shares, he wasn't giving away equity, he doesn't have to pay any of that money back. It's a really simple exchange. In return for the money that those people have pledged, they get a reward. Now, in this case, those rewards were, to be honest, baked goods. And, you know, who wouldn't want that as a reward? So it might have been a loaf of bread every week for a year, or it might have been a cake, once a month for 6 months, or something like that. And Phil, he decided what those rewards were, how he wanted to price them, and that's what people were choosing when they were coming in and making pledges on his project. So why do people run crowdfunding projects? Now, actually, for the majority of entrepreneurs that we work with, whilst raising that seed capital, whilst that's really important, it's not the primary motivation for them coming to us and wanting to do a bit of crowdfunding. Really, that marketing boost that you get as a startup or as a growing business, it really raises your profile in your industry or in your local area. It's a great way of reaching new audiences and people finding out about you, your business, your products that perhaps wouldn't have otherwise. Validation is also a really key one, particularly for those early stage businesses, for startups. If you have an idea, you put it out there, and if it gets funded, if you reach your target, if the crowd support it, you know that you're onto a winner. You know that it's something that people want. If we take, the example of Phil with his bakery, in Leeds, really, really key for him was this validation. He wanted to find out if people in Leeds wanted a local bakery, or actually, are they perfectly happy, buying their pre-sliced loaves from the supermarket down the road. What crowdfunding showed him was that actually people do want it, and that was really, really great evidence for him to have. Which takes us on to future funding. So if you are thinking that perhaps you'll be wanting to raise a much bigger chunk of money through equity later on, this is a fantastic way to get a bit of experience, dip a toe in the crowdfunding realm. Also, if you're thinking about going to the bank for some more investment, a loan, or perhaps something like startup loans, this is a really good way of having a bit of evidence, a bit of proof kind of in the bag that there's a market out there for what it is that you're doing. Of course, customer loyalty. So for those of you lucky enough to already have customers, to already have a product on sale, you already have people who are interested in what you're doing, we find that by running a crowdfunding project, you really cement those relationships. Those people become your advocates. They're the people who start telling everyone that they know that this great business that they already know about their crowdfunding. And actually, those people who come in and support your crowdfunding project will tend to continue to support you in the future because they've been a part of your story. They've been a part of the creation of how your product or your business came into being. So really, it is so much more than the money. So this one, as I say, is all about planning your projects. We're going to come on to, there'll be another 2 sessions on creating your project and on running your project as well, the bit where you actually get it funded. But for now, there's 3 key things that we're going to talk through. Making a plan, the skills that you need, and figuring out who your crowd is. So first of all, making a plan. Anyone who's ever run a crowdfunding project will tell you that this is absolutely essential. Having a really solid plan up front will make everything so much easier when you actually come to run your project later on. If you look back again to the January Jumpstart pack, the part 1 that you have, planning your project, you'll find in there's actually a checklist that we've put together, which is a really good place to start. There may be extra things that you need to add on to that checklist. There may be other things actually that you don't need, that actually aren't part of what you're going to do. And I'm just going to quickly show you now a little something that I've done. So we recommend on that page doing a calendar, figuring out what it is that you're going to do when. So my way of doing this is actually just to print off a paper calendar. I'm a little bit old school. I like pen and paper, and I definitely like coloured highlighters. So what I've marked on my calendar here for January, I've got my launch date, I've got my close date, and I've got a few bits in between. Now, as I go through these sessions, as I read the other parts of the pack, as I watch these live webinars, I'm going to start to fill out my calendar a little bit more. So for now, I've just got that I'm going to do a party on that Friday. I've got my launch date, I've got my close date, and I've got a couple of other little bits on there. But that's fine. I'm going to develop this calendar and use it, to work with as I go along. So however you choose to do it, whether you like it on paper or whether you prefer to do it straight onto a Google Calendar or something, definitely get a calendar on the go as soon as you can. So I'm just going to go back into where we were just then. So the next part, which I really want to draw your attention to in the pack, is these skills. Now, the 8 that we've picked out here are what we feel are really the core skills that you need to have nailed in order to run a good crowdfunding project if you're an entrepreneur, if you're running a project that's about a business, about a product. Now, you might find that actually you can cover quite a few of these skills yourself already. Project leader, that's probably you. You've probably got that in the bag. It might be that actually you have some pretty decent marketing experience. You might be able to cover the marketeer, maybe the social media mogul as well. I'm hoping that you'll perhaps be the industry expert too in your arena. If someone else involved in the business, is very creative, is good at putting together content, perhaps they can fill a different role. We find that if you can get other people to help you out, then it definitely helps to have other people to bounce ideas off and to pick up some of the slack and kind of ease the load a little bit. But there's no reason why you can't fill all of the roles yourself. if you feel that actually, you know, I'm really strong in all these areas. But definitely go through these skills and actually be quite honest with yourself. Where are the gaps that you have, and who do you know who can help you to fill those gaps? So the final bit that's really, really key that I want to draw your attention to is mapping out your crowd. Now, again, if you head back over to the pack, there's a little bit of a template which you'll recognise here on the screen, which is a bit of a starting point for mapping out your crowd. This is absolutely one of the most useful exercises that you will do. I think a lot of people think in their head, I know who I know. Of course I know who I know because I know them. But actually putting pen to paper, figuring out how you can group those people together. Actually, are there particular segments? Are there particular types of people? What are their interests? And even more importantly, how do I reach them? Doing this now, you'll literally use that as your Bible going forwards. When you come to writing content, shooting videos, thinking about rewards, this is going to be the key to making sure that you absolutely nail it. So I'm going to quickly jump back onto the screen again here to show you a little bit of an example of what I've done. So I printed off my pack in black and white, and I've started on here just doing a little bit of a network map, picking out some of the particular sections and putting in the people that I know in different areas. So, for example, we've got, you know, press and blogs down here. I've put people like Wavelength Magazine, Surf Girl, Carve. You know, we're very much in Nuki. It might be that I'm looking to run a surf project. They're really key. And I've highlighted for myself in a different colour the ones that I think are really, really important. The ones that I think are going to be the most important for me to really warm up and nurture and unlock in order to actually to make things happen for my project. And if you keep going through the pack, there's a few more bits which I definitely recommend filling out. So we have the bit on influencers. Start to fill out some names. Who do they influence? And then sort of tick them when you've got them on board. And same again for super backers. Super backers are those people who are going to come in and drop a big amount of money, hopefully, on your project once it goes live. So again, I definitely spend some time going through those 3 pages, making sure that you've got it all mapped out. Okay, so we're just going to pick up again where we were there. So once you've started to put together that network map, start to group them up. Who is it that you're going to contact through social media? Who is it that you're going to contact through email? Who are the people that actually you know, you can reach through your website or what have you? And really start to flesh out and get a decent idea of who the people are that you're going to be targeting with your marketing, with your campaign. So what's next? For those of you who have read through the pack and you have watched this, you're pretty much at the point now where you are ready to start crowdfunding. Take the leap. Best thing to do, get onto the Crowdfunder website and click that Start Crowdfunding button. What that will do will be to take you into the flow where you start adding your project. It'll ask you for different pieces of information, like your title, or to add a video, an image, whatever that might be. Everything that you do is completely editable and deletable. You can scrap it and start all over again at any point. So don't worry about getting it perfect first time round. Just get in there, get your project added, and start working through that sheet. So next is going to be part 2, all about creating your project. That's the juicy bit where we talk about telling your story, making videos, offering rewards. If you head to the Jumpstart page, if you go to crowdfunder.co.uk/jumpstart, you will now see that part 2, the second part of that pack, is available to download. So you can download that now from that page. And we'll be running the next Hangouts. The next live webinar will be on Tuesday next week, same time, 2:30 p.m. So hopefully I'll see most of you then. So I hope you've found this useful. Anyone has any questions about the bits that we've spoken through so far, I'm going to be on Twitter for the next sort of half an hour, hour or so, ready to answer questions. Send in your questions to @CrowdfunderUK, and we'll jump on there and we'll get some answers to you as quickly as we can. If you have questions about things that we haven't quite covered yet, about things like marketing or creating your project, just hold on tight, write those questions down, and hopefully we'll cover them over the next few sessions. Thanks so much for watching.